Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Muse Jester. My name is Junior. Today we're going to look more about the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Lando Calrissian, and Attack of the Clones Mace Windu. This is from the vintage 3.75 line. This is their more recent re-releases of these figures where basically they've repainted the faces so it's got face printing. Maybe a little bit on the actual figures themselves, but this will be using the old articulation that they have. These are reissued, so I'm expecting that maybe Mace Windu will have the straight cut and definitely no ankle articulation, right? And but I did get them on sale. Mace Windu was 11.87 and Lando Calrissian is 11.89. So I guess I'm kind of okay with that. As long as I can get them on sale with a little bit of a price point, then I'll go ahead and buy these figures because they're not what I wanted for articulation wise, but the face printing is pretty good. At the same time, I also want to include that I was at Book Off and I'm got this 3-pack for $7. I don't know if I'll ever use this look, but actually now that I look at it, it's not so bad, especially if I'm looking at it from 5 feet away. So I guess it will stand in until I get a good one. I already have an Emperor on my collection. This is really good though. So when he's walking down the shuttle landing, um, I'm still gonna try to get the Emperor that they released in the vintage collection because this guy I do want to pose. So in fighting, so I think he will do well. Now, and then I have another one of this. This is actually a different style from what I've gotten. This is from the Force Link, but as you can see, the sculpt is more updated than this one. And he's, oh my god, he's shorter. What the hell? I guess he's gonna be the squirt of the bunch. But yeah, $7 for 3 figures. I sure, why not? And then I got this one, $9. Now this is really old style. It's got the big body, really bad articulation and everything. But I if they produce this in the vintage line, meaning like this line, it will probably have the newest articulation. But $9 is like basically $3 a figure. It's gonna be in the background, and I guess it's good enough. And I didn't realize this guy right here. These are Cantina aliens, but this guy right here, wasn't he in Mandalorian? Um, and yeah, I that's pretty cool that they did that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and open this up. Again, I'm not much of a box collector, but the way I open it up anyway, it's I usually do it pretty cleanly. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna throw them away because every one of these from Amazon has this sticker over here, which I'm assuming is pissing off a lot of collectors, in-box collectors out there. But who knows? I'm not. I mean, and it's all punched. I don't know. I'll keep them anyway. It's not taking a lot of space for now, and I'll toss them whenever I want to. So, in case you haven't seen any of my videos on how I unbox it, I just basically take a very sharp knife and I just cut the edge over here. Um, I mean, I could rip it off, but I just found this is easier. Oh, look at that. It's actually not even glued in properly. All right, so I have them out of the packaging, but before I proceed, I want to point out that this 3 wacky aliens, I didn't realize it actually came with a stand. That's pretty cool. And also, they came with this background diorama thingies. So I'm gonna keep them for now as reference because I'm planning on making my own cantina. This is kind of boring. Cantina is gonna be so easy to do. But this one, I definitely want to make a Death Star diorama piece. So I'm going to keep this for reference. All right, so now let's go to the figures themselves. So I as I sort of suspected, this is a an older. As you can see, how it kicks out when you do that. It's an older articulation point where the pelvic articulation goes upwards. It's got almost everything than that the newer ones do. So it's kind of good enough. This is kind of stiff. It goes sideways, but not much on back and forward. I do like this cape on Lando. This is definitely evocative of his cape. So I'm glad that they at least took the effort to paint this one. The you got that much. You got the thigh cut and everything. You got everything that the newer ones do, except the ankle articulation only goes up and down. There's no sideways. And again, this one is really, it's so annoying because it seems sometimes it's hard to get him standing straight like this. And when you kick him out, you just gotta play with it. And see, that's like really ugly that you have to do that. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in a way, but I did get him on retail, and like I said, I think Hasbro's policy right now is that if they already have the mold of an older figure, they're gonna reuse that, face print it, and put it out. And if they ever change their policy on that, it'll be way, way down in the future. In which case, it'll be much more expensive, unfortunately. So I feel like right now, I'm collecting this. This is gonna be my collection. I'm not gonna be upgrading to a newer Lando or anything like that. In fact, I think he's one of my newest one. The Mace Windu thing, right? So all the Jedi's from that's being released has this cloth cape, and I think I uploaded the one with Ayla Secura recently, and I didn't have her robe on because look at this robe. This low robe just looks too puffy for this scale. It just doesn't look right. It actually makes it look pretty bad compared to the Emperor over here, which has a molded plastic robe. But look at the detail you're getting though. But of course, you suffer on articulation, so it's kind of like a trade-off. Um, Obviously, I want my full articulation rather than it looking good. That's why I'm gonna get the Emperor, a newer Emperor version, the new one that came out on vintage, if I can, for posing. More than likely, aside from this thing being puffy, it really takes up a lot of space and tends to fall over with the figure. So I think for most of my Jedi, I might actually start removing them and just displaying them without the robe. And see how I opened it up and I realized his articulation point is off. That's the other thing too. When you guys are messing with this, make sure you expose it so you can properly put it the way it should be. So this is now backwards, and that's the right way. Okay. So for Mace Windu, look at that. He's got a different kind of a cut. I wonder if all the Jedi's with this kind of look has that same type of articulation. But he makes him bend forward that much, upwards like so, but it has a really ugly cut over there. And let's see what kind of articulation he has for the pelvic region. And he's got cloth skirt. Interesting. And as I suspected, the pelvic region is just a straight cut. So, man, so disappointing. So he can, I mean, it's good that he can kick straight, but he doesn't have any sideways. That's really disappointing. And how much did I pay for this? $12, almost full price. I'm betting when this one came out, it was like $15. I bet they're charging full price for this one. That's really sucky, man. But you know what? That's it. That's it for my Mace Windu. I mean, this is a good enough representation. I'm not gonna pay a second time. This is backwards. His whole arm is backwards. Wait, what? It should be like that. So this is wrong. Look at that. This is right. See that? So this is backwards, so you have to put it like this. But if you do that, this is backwards. So this is technically for this arm. Oh man. Now, are all Mace Windows out there the same way? They just decided to hide the fact that it's backwards because it's going to be under a robe anyway. It still kind of works, but the articulation, I guess it doesn't really matter. Look, that's a 90 degree. That's an almost 90 degree. But still, though. Anyway. So yeah, that's the way it is with vintage, the vintage collection. That's the way Hasbro's doing it. That's why I said, you know what? If they're gonna do that, I'm just gonna go for the Force Awakens stuff, or the Power of the Force line. It's like this guy. It's a crappier type of articulation, but it's $3. Like I'm still gonna try to get a newer version of him, obviously, but for just as a background character, he's gonna be good enough. So at least, well, for a background figure, obviously not a background character. So I'm still gonna get a more the vintage collection version of this guy and this guy as the main one. But man, I really hope that, you know what, I have something. This is from the vintage collection. I can already tell it's an older type of articulation. It's got the ankle, got the knees and everything, and it's almost the same design that I want. I was actually thinking of just the helmet's not removable. I was actually just taking off the poncho on this one, and then just using this body as my look, but the headdress is not removable. Anyway, are they the same height? In a way, yes, they are. Oh well. And there's the money shot right there. That's the reason why I'm buying these figures. This is the reason why I went into this line. I'm like really amazed at the amount of detail or face printing technology they're able to put in this one. And this is an older sculpt, which means this sculpt, the head sculpt, is the way it was before. They never changed anything. But more importantly, let's look at Lando. Man, that looks awesome. Can you believe that? Can you believe how small that is? That's like less than half of an inch. And this is the same old sculpt that they had before. That was hidden by bad paint job. Now that it's there, now that the paint application is there, this is just awesome. This is the reason why I got into this line. That's it. You know, articulation is secondary. That's why I'm kind of okay with this guy being limited articulated. But it's this one. That's the reason why I got into this line. So that's it for my review of Mace Windu and Lando Calrissian from the Star Wars Vintage line 3.75. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you found it informative. Depending on where your collection is, you guys might be farther along than I am. So you guys probably know all about this already. It's just, as a new collector coming into this line, it's something that I'm finding out, and it's kind of disappointing that if I'm paying, if I'm going to pay full price of $15, then you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. It's this kind of articulation. This is a $10 figure for this kind of articulation, even with the face printing. I'm sorry, it's a $10 figure. Is the most, maybe 12 is the most I'll pay for it. For core characters like Luke Skywalker or Lando Calrissian, you know, but definitely not $15, not for this. So yeah, that's it. And just as a quick, this is almost gonna finish my collection up to date. I do have some knockoff stormtroopers coming in from China, about 30 of them, just to fill out the ranks. But yeah, I'm getting closer and closer just to pan out. This is my collection that you guys saw maybe, I don't know, 3 days ago, and this is my collection as of yesterday. But that's not all of it. Let me pan really quickly. So I'm gonna apologize at the mess as my room is right now. I'm sorry, but I'm in the process of trying to do something about this because this is not supposed to be here. This is my review table, my crafting table, that is now full of these Star Wars toys and everything, right? So I'm gonna keep panning over here, and I'm gonna have to fix this one because this is the wall that I have my Batwing on. This is supposed to be only for my high-end collectibles, but I'm gonna have to redo my whole collection. As you can see, I still have some more Star Wars figures over there. And look, my 12-inch Hot Toys figures are kind of like hidden. I'm gonna have to move that. I know, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be a 3.75-inch collection line, a review, but yeah, this is less than a month, guys. In 3 days' time, in November 10, it would have been 1 month since I started collecting. 1 month. And as I pan down slowly, you can't see it. You can't see the disaster. But I am gonna do the part 3 very, very soon. I'm just waiting for a few more ones to come in that's lagging behind. So I'll probably pull it out at there at maybe on November 20th is what I'm thinking of doing. But more stuff over there. God, what did I do? So that's it. That's it for my review of Mace Windu and Lando Calrissian, which you're not seeing because they're off camera. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more stuff. Star Wars 3.75 is where my collection thing is going. I'll have some more that I need to review, like G.I. Joe's and Mattel. But that's the way it is right now. Thank you. Bye.